Hello YouTube, can you see me now? Good, because I just blew $1.99 on a brand new light bulb so that you guys can get a better view of me. And the Darth Raider Sportscast. Before we begin, I would just like to say that this video is dedicated to New England Patriot fan extraordinaire, David Alexander Goods, who is my brother and is a terrible, terrible human being. Love you. All jokes aside, this was supposed to be done in 2 videos, but because there's not much to talk about when it comes to the Eagles-Vikings game, just a bunch of Vikings getting outrun by a bunch of Eagles, and it was quite the blowout, and it just wasn't a good game at all, and so there was really nothing to talk about there, and I figured I didn't want to blow an entire video just talking about the Jaguars-Patriots game. So I figured I'd do my recap from the conference championship games and my Super Bowl prediction and preview video all in one. So I had the tricky situation of trying to find out how to incorporate these two, the AFC Conference Championship and the Super Bowl, into one video, and I think I figured it out with a video I'm going to call 9 Simple Rules to Beat the New England Patriots. What Jacksonville had to do and what Philadelphia has to do are pretty much one and the same thing. I think they're very much so the same team, just in different uniforms. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to the whiteboard so that you guys can see okay, so we're back with the rules to beat the New England Patriots. What Jacksonville should have done and what Philadelphia is going to have to do. The turning point in the Jacksonville-New England game was the touchdown in the last minute of the first half. So because that was a field goal, Jacksonville goes in at 14-6, and it's a very different way the Patriots are going to come out in the second half. And maybe we're talking about a Jacksonville-Philadelphia Super Bowl instead of a New England-Philadelphia Super Bowl 52. So they didn't do that. You got to avoid pass interference chunk plays, where Tom Brady seems to get away with at least 1 or 2 of these a game, where he throws a semi-uncatchable ball down the sidelines 30 yards and gets a pass interference call that flips the field position of the game. Jacksonville wasn't able to avoid those. You sack Tom Brady three or more times. He's 1-2 this season when he gets sacked 3 or more times. Jacksonville only did it twice. You got to win the turnover battle. Jacksonville actually did that, recovering a fumble in the first half, I believe. You got to dominate time of possession. The Jaguars pretty much did that, 35 to just a little under 25. You got to avoid short fields that turn into Patriot touchdowns. Because the Patriots are absolutely great at exploiting teams coming off of turnovers or, in this case, shank punts. And they very often do so, turn those into touchdowns. Obviously, the shank punt in this case for Jacksonville resulted in a New England touchdown. You got to win the penalties, because this is why we call it the world versus Tom Brady and the refs. And obviously, the penalty... the number of penalties was 6-1 in favor of New England. New England only had 1 penalty throughout the game, and that was like a 10-yard hold. And I think Jacksonville had like 6 penalties for like 80 yards or something. It was obnoxious the amount of yardage that the Patriots got off penalties. Referees, yes, penalties. So Eagle fans, avoid the penalties. Make sure you do not have to play the refs. 100-yard running back. You gotta get a running back to 100 yards. When this happens this season, the Patriots are 2-2. Kenyon Drake, Hunt for Kansas City, along with Le'Veon Bell from Pittsburgh and Melvin Gordon in San Diego. And Pittsburgh, we all know what happened there. San Diego, the score was an 8-point loss, and if you don't get back. And keep Tom Brady at an equal to or less than 0 touchdown to interception ratio. Kansas City, he had 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. And against Miami, he had 1 touchdown, 2 picks for a -1. In this game here, in this game against Jacksonville, he had 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for a ratio of +2. So do I think the Eagles can do all of these things? No, because nobody has. The most anybody's gotten was Miami. They got 7 of the 9. I think the ones where the Eagles are going to struggle is going to be the penalties, keeping Tom Brady's touchdown to INT ratio down, first half points, and avoiding the pass interference calls. I think they can get to Tom Brady 3 or more times with that front line, and maybe win the turnover battle. And definitely they could win the time of possession. So I think the Super Bowl is going to be competitive. I got New England in pretty much the same way it was in 2005 in Super Bowl 39, but in a little more higher scoring game. I'm giving it New England 31, Philadelphia 27. That's my Super Bowl 52 pick. Again, that's New England 31, Philadelphia 27.